Hey, what's going on? It's me, Andrew. Show's called Face for Radio. I'm your host, Andrew. What's going on? It's been a while. How you guys been? What's going on? Oh boy, a lot to talk about. I'm not going to talk about a lot of it, just some of it. Got to go over a quiz everyone did about 2 weeks ago that nobody remembers. Going to talk about some Japanese people I hate and why being a tour guide isn't going on vacation. All things that nobody but me cares about. But you need something to listen to while you're at work or driving, and apparently this is the best you can do because you're probably an idiot. So, criticizing people listen to this show, it's a ballsy move. What can I say? I'm a ballsy guy. It's just the way I am, the way I was put together, literally and figuratively. But here we go. Let's get straight into it. Did you guys hear about that little kid in Florida that got eaten by an alligator? Yeah. At Disney World, happiest place on earth. If you're referencing another podcast I did many moons ago, maybe it was 2 moons ago, not too many moons, but just 2 moons. But a friend and I were discussing the what's the word I'm looking for? We couldn't understand the big deal with Disneyland. And now I can't understand the big deal at all because a 2-year-old was just eaten by an alligator. Sad. And a singer, was killed by a fan. And none of you heard about this because of the shooting in Orlando, but my twin brother will be here later this week. We'll record a show on that. As if you haven't heard anything, as if you haven't heard enough of it. But you know what? We'll make that one my second episode of gun control, because it's starting to get really irritating with people. I mean, this dude shoots up. He kills 49 people with a 6-hour MCX, which is not an AR-15. It's actually a lot more expensive. It's about twice as much as an AR-15 you can get. It could be even more. Okay. We don't even, and the major news outlets just blame the NRA. They've blamed Christians. They've blamed the right wing, and I don't know. They blamed everyone but the guy who actually did it. So, but hey, we can't judge the actions of many based on the actions of one person. Unless that one person is a gun owner and he kills someone, then we can do it. But you know what? Let's make it a little lighthearted, huh? You guys are probably feeling pretty down in the dumps right about now. Well, let me help you out. So let's get to this quiz. Boo 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 boo. Yeah, da 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 do. Here we are. Alrighty. Okay. So here was June 4th, 11 days. Chimney, crim cram, bajou. This is the question. You know, a couple weeks ago I did a question for the ladies about what clothing items might turn them off of an individual. This one is for the fellas, and I asked the fellas. The question reads as follows. So here's a question for the fellas. Which clothing item listed below would be the one a girl would have to wear in order for you to tell her that you have the wrong address when you go to pick her up? But then she says, "This is our 3rd date." And then you say, "Do you know where the closest T-Bell is?" This is the hardest list I've ever come up with, as I believe there are very so few items of clothing a man would reject. And feel free to add your own. Okay, so the number 1 pick was, I'm pretty proud of this. I think you guys did a good job. But what it is clown red lipstick, 1. That one with 9. What is it with women thinking that looking like you've been eating cherry popsicles all day is attractive? Is it because of that evil whore, Marilyn Monroe? And I'm just going to be mad because I called her whore, but she was. She was a woman of loose, but she was a troubled soul. I'll give her that. I'm sorry. Ghost of Marilyn Monroe. She was a woman of troubles, woman of loose morals, and she was not a, role model for women. Okay, so, ladies, girls' night out, hey, clown red lipstick, all you want, okay? What the F is this? Already peeling off? God, can you hear this chair creaking? It's annoying. I know, I'm sorry. But it's a comfortable chair, so. And I'm probably going to be here for about 45 minutes to an hour ranting and talking about things that, if you know me, I've probably told you 100,000 times. So, okay, so clown red lipstick. Number 2 place with 5 votes was the Che Guevara shirt or anything from the 60s. Che Guevara shirt is good because they don't even know who Che Guevara was, or Guevara. He was basically a prick. He was also super racist, so I'm not sure why teenage girls... Well, I know why they wear it. It's because they're dumb and they just think it's cool. So, number 3 was tie-dye anything. Yeah. I don't know if that one would bother me. I'd probably think they're poor. Because tie-dye is something you make, you know. And if they bought it, I'd think they're stupid. If they were wearing a tie-dye shirt because it was a gift or they made it themselves, I'd probably think, well, I could probably get away with McDonald's on this date. But if they bought it, then I could probably think, I wonder how far I can get my hands down her pants. But that's inappropriate. I'm sorry. Yeah, tie-dye. I don't understand tie-dye either. But it wouldn't really turn me off. 4th popular one was a Face for Radio t-shirt. I would be all over that like stink on a monkey. She'd probably be all over me too if she's got a face. Who's calling me? Oh, it's Marie. Hey, Marie. Can't pick up right now. Sorry. But I'll get back to you. I don't think she listens to this, which doesn't bother me. But I will get back to you, Marie. Love ya. Marie's great. I love my sister because she is so awesome and she's honest and she pays for stuff and she's a good driver and she's pretty and she has a great voice and she married a cool dude, which means she's cool, and she's a great cook, and she doesn't wear bright red clown lipstick, and she doesn't get mad when I don't notice her hair's different, or when I notice or when I say her hair's different and it's actually not. And that's about it. Marie, love ya. Next one. Animal print anything. Yes, animal print is disgusting. I believe I talked about that before, but... Jeez, ladies. I mean, if you live in a trailer park, I understand that's all you can afford, but come on. Target sells shirts. Women's clothing is cheap. Actually, you know what? No. Women's clothing is incredibly cheap. I've dated before. Oh, and apparently I talk about dating too much, which is fine. You know, I won't do it. Some butthole named... Well, his name rhymes with Barrett Smeatham. Said that I spoke about dating and guns too much. Well, what else am I going to talk about? Huh? What else is there to talk about? Anyways. Animal print anything, yeah. Giant hoop earrings. That's only if she's south of the border. You know. Ay, caramba. Arriba. You know, that kind of thing. That's giant hoop earrings. EFY/Youth Conference/Family Reunion t-shirt. Yeah, a first date, that would send to me, I either have no clothes / I love my family. And it's great that you love your family, but I'm not really into your family. So, you know, tone it down. Next, Nickelback or One Direction shirt, that's good. I probably would end a date with a Nickelback or One Direction shirt. I think I would. Because if she wore it because she liked them, that would piss me off. And if she wore it because she was being ironic, that means she's a hipster, and that would piss me off too. Next one is a romper or a jumpsuit. I don't know what a romper is. And a jumpsuit, I didn't know people still wore those. I thought only astronauts wore jumpsuits. What is a jumpsuit? Let me look this up. Jumpsuit. For women. Well, there it is. Let's check it out. Is this considered attractive? Do people wear these? Is this something you see people wearing? Ugh. It doesn't even look like a suit. It's like a dress with legs. Ugh. Fashion is retarded. While we're up, let's look up what a romper is. Because a romper, when I picture romper, I think like... You know, something little kids wear, like a onesie. Let's find out what a romper is. I mean, rompers are better because they're shorter, but still, like, I would be kind of put off if a woman showed up with this in a date. Like, what? I can't look at her face because everything else is popping out. So it's like a jumpsuit, but with shorts. Am I just stupid, or is fashion stupid? Which one is it? I think it's fashion. Yeah, I'm not stupid. That's for sure. Last but not least, with one vote, there is nothing a woman could wear that would deter me. Well, that's what I like to call a little homegrown American can-do attitude. Yeah. Ugh. Clown red lipstick. What is wrong with people? That's not good looking. What did he say? Do you guys like my long breaks of silence, my pauses? It's good, huh? It's a good pod. So let's get into what today's podcast is about. And I'm going to talk about the tour I recently had. So in case you didn't know, first off, the email is the AFFRshow@gmail.com. Number 2, I am a tour guide for Japanese customers. I've been doing this. This is my 7th season. Basically, I only do it pretty much during the summers. And then I go to school and fail. So I'm a professional failure and tour guide. So a double failure. So I had 2 older people. The one man, he was turning 80 on my tour. And the woman there was his second wife. She was in her, I don't know. I want to say 60s. She looked very young, but Japanese women look young until they hit menopause, and then they look like they turn into raisins and just got even worse than they were before. But let's count how many ums I say in the podcast, shall we? Isn't it annoying? So this was a custom 8-day Yellowstone Grand Teton National Park tour, and they're VIP. This dude was loaded out his balls. Traveled the world 2 to 3 times a year. They've been traveling the world since he retired at about 65. They've been to every country in South America. They've been down the Amazon River. They've been to the South Pole. They've been to Easter Island, all over Micronesia, Polynesia. They've been all over Asia and Europe. I mean, they've been like all over. So I get to Jackson in the morning. I pick them up. That's Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Hold on, I'm gonna burp. Oh, excuse me. So embarrassed. Pardon my offense. Hold on, I got another one. I just drank this really strong ginger ale, and I think that's what's doing it. But and I have allergies. I'm not sure if that's related to the burping, but I do. So anyways, I'm sitting there waiting for them to get off the plane, walking, and I've got a little sign that says their name on it. Their name is Jono Sono, which is a really weird Japanese. I've never heard that one before. But anyways, I pick them up, and the woman sees me, and she's, you know, I get this a lot, but the look on her face says, there must have been some huge mistake, right? And looking back, I can understand that, you know, she's expecting a Japanese person. But I say, hello, are you Mrs. Jonosono? And she goes, yeah. And I go, well, hello, my name's Andrew. I'm your guide for the next week. Nice to meet you. And she's still looking at me like there's been some mistake. And I'm the guy's a little bit cooler. And, you know, we start talking. Basically, they talk for a couple of minutes how they were expecting a Japanese person and yada, yada, yada. So we get their bags and we start heading up to Yellowstone. Okay? We get there. And they just start asking really stupid questions. And the stupidest question that I got that day and every other day and every single day after that was, well, it's not even a question, it's a statement. The woman asked me why my English was so good. She didn't ask why my Japanese was good. She asked me why English was good. And I said, well, I've been speaking it since I was little, and I live in a country where that's the predominant language, so that's why my English is so good. And at first I couldn't understand why she would say that. But they've traveled the world, and I've been their first non-Japanese guide. To them, non-native guide. You got to understand, when these people say I want a native guide, they want, what they're saying is a Japanese guide. You and me, if we went to Brussels or Punjab or Bangkok, then if you said I want a native guide, you would expect to see Gupta Pashmir or Franz Deutsche Fisch or what's a Thai name? Bingwap Surhi. And that's what you expect if you ask for a native guide, but no, not to them. So I wrapped my head around to that, and then yada yada. But the woman was really dumb, and she kept pissing me off. And I got a list of things that were just kind of out there. Now, maybe this will help you understand why I get a little frustrated in my work. So we were eating lunch one day at Mammoth Hot Springs, and she ordered a lemonade, and she said there was too much ice in her drink. And so instead of being like a civilized human and asking for maybe a cup or a glass to put the extra ice in, she just starts taking ice out of her drink and laying it on the table. So because I am the cultural translator as well, and these Japanese people can't be shamed because they're, they might have a katana in their bag and might cut themselves open later for shame. But I grab a glass off the other table, and I scoop the ice in, and then I tell her, hey, you might want to put the ice in here. And she goes, oh, do you think they'll get mad at me? Do you think they'll get mad? This isn't a zoo. This is America. Do you think they get mad at me if I went to Japan and started putting ice on the table? You dumb hoe. So this was the beginning of what would turn into a hilarious episode. But, and again, I mean, this happened every day, but they've traveled the world, and this is not their first time to America. This is the 6th or 7th time they've been to America, and then when they're usually here for a week at a time. But she was so surprised at all the things that were different. Every time we ate, she talked about how much food there was. And I don't know if that's what people do, if they just say the same thing over and over, and I'm just weird. But I didn't go to Japan. I mean, I got to my first meal, and I was like, wow, this isn't a lot of food. But after that, I didn't say anything, because I knew that's how it was going to be. But every time we ate, every single time, she'd get her food, she'd talk about how much food there was, and she goes, why is there so much food? And I don't have I don't have time to explain to you that America is 400 quadrillion times larger than Japan, and we can grow as much effing food as we want. And I don't have time to explain to you the American philosophy of, because I can. I mean, that's why the food is that much, is because we can. See, in Japan, it would be socially irresponsible to serve someone that much food, because I don't know. But it's every single time, in everything. She'd ask, like, how come we don't drink tea? And I told her, well, we probably don't. And I said, I don't know, but I could probably guess that because the English drank tea, and we didn't really care much for the English after America was made. And she started talking about tea. I'm like, okay, look, that's great that you like tea. I don't like tea. Please shut the hell up. So we got to their room, and the thermostat, the highest it would go was 74 degrees in the room. That's pretty damn hot. I don't know how many people like to sleep in 74-degree rooms, but the next morning I asked them how their room was, and she goes, well, it was cold. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought the heat was on. She goes, yeah, the highest it would go was 74. And I was like, oh, is that not hot enough? And she goes, no, it was so cold. And I said, okay, well, I'm sorry about that. I'll talk to the front, what's it called, the lobby, the front desk, and I'll see if we can't get a portable heater or something. And then they'll look at me like, what the hell is going on, So then the older guy goes, no, it's okay, we have blankets. So I asked him, like, oh, you guys aren't using the blankets? And they said no. I'm like, okay, well, you're cold, and you're not using the blankets? What? That's like there's a bottle of water in front of someone, and they're what's starving with water called? Dehydration. They're dehydrating, and they don't open it because. Next. Oh, and I just want to let everyone know that if I've ever said to you I can't eat cooked fish anymore because the raw fish in Japan was so good that now I can't eat cooked fish. That's a huge dick thing to say, and you can slap me for saying that. I realize how much like a prick I sounded. That being said, fish in and of itself is okay, but it's only good if it's been battered and fried or raw. Or maybe I just don't know how to eat good fish. Or maybe I don't eat good fish. Or maybe I don't care. What's next? Oh yeah, and that dumb old bat would just complain about tips the whole time. And we'll get to what they tipped me for 7 days of babysitting a bunch of retarded adult children. But every single meal, he was cool with paying a tip. He understood, this is American culture. This is what you pay. And she was like, no, we can only pay 10%. And I said, 10% is not enough. We need to pay at least 15%. And then she complained about, like, why in America do we tips? And I told her, these people don't get paid a lot per hour. They rely on tips. And this is how it's done. And she goes, well, I wish they would do it in Japan. And I said, well, Japan has a good system. And she goes, well, why don't we do it? And I said, I don't know. Do I look like I almost dropped the F-bomb. Do I look like the cultural czar of America? Like I decree something, throw my gavel down, and suddenly it all changes? You stupid old bat. Why don't you people change a lot of things that you do? Number 1, knock it off with the rice. Number 2, somen isn't that great. Number 3, udon isn't that great. Number 4, tonkotsu ramen isn't that great. Number 5, how about we up the portions a little bit? Number 6, you buttholes ever heard of Dr. Pepper? Go get some of that. I'm sick and tired of drinking CC lemon. Number 7, make the roads wider. Number 8, please keep your pornography out of the convenience store. Your sick, demented, fish-raping women porn. I don't need to see that. Okay? That's why I have a room. And bookmarks of fish-raping women. What are we on? 9? What else pisses me off about Japan? Oh, it's too humid. F that place. Next. Oh, she couldn't count dollar bills. She couldn't even count them. And their numbers right there. How could you not count? Next. Oh, yeah. Okay, I already talked about that. Oh, all the time she asked if what we were seeing was free inside the park. We got there to Grand Prismatic Spring in Yerrowstone. And she goes, oh, how much do we have to pay to see this? And I said, nothing. We already paid the fee at the entrance. And she goes, you don't have to pay to see this? And I said, no, everything in the park is free. And she goes, well, in Japan, they charge for this. And I said, okay. And we don't charge in America. And she goes, well, why? And I said, well, because Americans believe that this is our land. And if you were to charge Americans I understand the fee to get in the park. But, if they charged you again, it's not, that's ridiculous, And so I told her, a lot of people would be pissed off. And she goes, yeah, people in Japan would be pissed off too. And I said, okay, well then why would you guys charge? Why would the government decide to charge people then? And she goes, I don't know. And I said, okay. But yeah, she said the same thing at Old Faithful. She said the same thing at the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. She said the same thing at Mammoth Hot Springs. It's free to see. Yes. Stop asking me. I answered the question yesterday. F. Oh, it was hot as balls up there that week. And so, being raised in the desert, I was raised with a habit of drinking a lot growing up. Water, mostly, and now I drink a lot of soda. But because I don't want to get kidney stones, I've supplemented my soda intake with water. By the way, all of you people that say how bad soda is, go to hell, okay? And shut up. If you're drinking booze and you don't drink soda because you think soda's bad for you, I want you to do me a favor and just headbutt some knives until you're brain dead, please. F. God, people talk about soda like it's arsenic. You have a Coke and you're putting a poisonous enema up your butthole. No, it's Coke. God, what is wrong with people? Oh, I love it when people say diet soda is going to make you gain weight. How does something with 0 calories make you gain weight? And then I love this argument of theirs. Well, you trick your brain because you didn't have any calories, so then you eat more, and that's how. It's okay, well then the extra cheeseburger made you gain weight, idiot. What's the next one? Oh, yeah. So anyways, so at dinner, I had like 6 glasses of water. And this isn't like the big glasses, you know. This is fancy restaurant. Oh, excuse me. I'm so embarrassed. Fancy restaurant glasses. And, you know, there's a ton of ice. And I had like 6. I was friggin' thirsty. And she says, "Whoa, Andrew, you're drinking too much. You're going to ruin your meal." And I said, "No, it'll be okay. I'll be able to eat." And so they paid for all my meals in the park. And some people might think, well, that's really nice of them. No, it isn't. Because that means I had to eat all the time with them. And I had to come up with 2 extra hours of conversation. 2 extra hours of them complaining about America. And 2 extra hours of them asking me why blah, 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 blah. And it's annoying. I hate eating with my customers. I have to be with them all effing day. I can use an hour break, you know? But I did get to eat some good lamb. Actually, the lamb was the only good thing I got to eat. I wish I could have just gotten out of the rest of them. But they were so stupid. They were so dumb. But yeah, she nagged me for drinking water. And I swear, we should take 500 Japanese people, toss them in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and see how they live. Because those people drink 6 ounces of tea every single day and yet still live. I don't understand. I don't know how their body works. Maybe they just have powdery blood. I already got that one. So yeah, so I realized that they were surprised by all this stuff because this is the first time they've had a guide that's exposed them to America. This is the first guy that's been able to make small talk with the waitstaff. She asked me all the time if I was friends with the waitstaff, and I said no. And she goes, "Well, you're smiling and talking to him. I just thought you guys were friends." And I said, "Well, in America, we're friendly. You know, you just smile and you make small talk with the with people. That's how you do. Because you know, you'd make small and this is and plus, especially when you're in vacation, you know, everyone's from somewhere else. They're all having a good time. Everyone's generally in a happy mood, but." You know, I talk to people in the elevators, and people see me, some white guy speaking Japanese, and their mind just blows up, and they talk to me, and yada, yada, yada. But she said it literally she didn't say it once. If she said it once, I wouldn't be complaining. She said it every effing day. Every mother effing day. Golly. Do I sound like a prick? Well, it's because I am. But yeah, so I was the first guide to ever expose them to America. All the other guides were Japanese guides that kept them safe in their little Japanese bubble. This really pisses me off. My microphone stand, it's chipping. Why isn't it? So, what's next? Oh, so you know how like nowadays fancy salads are not iceberg lettuce, you get like a mixed greens that has dandelion or kale or mustard greens or spinach or whatever? If it wasn't iceberg lettuce, this woman had a hard time eating it, which I think that's the definition of retarded. Like, if you can't eat lettuce, like that means you're retarded, right? Oh yeah, so I told him about so if you've never been to Yellowstone, some of the hot springs in Yellowstone have these microbes, these single cellular organisms that can live in the hot water. And scientists have been studying them, and they've found different uses for enzymes found inside the microbes. And they've made some drugs with them that have been able to help. They've made cancer-fighting drugs, right? And I told them that, and then they said, well, what Yellowstone should do is you should be able to drink this water and it'll cure cancer. It's like, God, you were so effing stupid. Yes, that's exactly what it's going to do. And I mean, you think these people would be smart. This guy was like a CEO at 33. I mean, the dude is loaded. When we went to the hotel in Jackson, $1,300 a night, and he said it was cheap. So the dude was loaded out his balls. We went to this restaurant and they had king crab leg. It was $28. So you got one king crab leg for $28, and they said that was cheap. Like, not only were they rich, but they were also very stupid, because that's not cheap. Next. Oh yeah, so we get to the hotel, the fancy schmancy $1,300 a night hotel, and they have a massage included in the package. And so what we've done, so I was talking to him and I said, okay, well, this is how, massage. And I've had one massage in America, and I'm going to sound like a prick right now, but I didn't care for it too much. I guess maybe I just wasn't, tense enough But I don't know. I mean, it was fine. I wouldn't pay for it again. But anyways, they go, well, are we going to be naked when we get this massage? And I said, well, you won't be wearing, you'll have a towel around your waist. And they were like, oh, all, freaked out. But these people, they got naked and went to hot springs all the time. And so I was like, well, you're just going to be in a room with a dude or a chick. You have a towel around your waist. And they'll be massaging you. And it sounds creepy, but that's what a massage is. Like why would that be weird? They've had massages. You know what a massage is? That's not weird. And the old stupid old bat lost her mind. God, I hope that plane went down. I hope ISIS freaking took that plane down. Every day I had to remind him where I lived in Japan and what I did when I was there. I should have given him a different answer every day. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, and every time a fly got anywhere, they both lost their mind. Especially she. She went batshit crazy. We were in this restaurant, and there was a fly at the window. And we're in effing the woods, like it's nature and shit. Sorry for swearing. And these two would lose their mind over a fly. And I'm have to sit there and like... Namaste. What's next? Oh yeah, okay. And you know what? F mosquitoes. And I just say we do this, right? You get like what mosquitoes like. Let's just get like a tub of blood and put it somewhere that doesn't matter, like Mexico, right? And we get this giant tub of blood and we put it in Mexico and we attract all the mosquitoes and it has like mosquito pheromones. We just get all the mosquitoes over there. And then we just nuke the shit out of it. And then we kill all the mosquitoes. And I don't give a shit about all the other animals that rely on the mosquitoes to eat. Because you know what? I hear it's bats. I hear people lose their minds because they think that bats eat mosquitoes and we need to keep mosquitoes around for bats. You know what? Good. Let's kill the bats too. 2 birds with 1 stone. You know what? No more vampires. And I don't care if vampires aren't real. Why take the risk? I don't want vampires around, and as far as I know, from all my vampire research, they're bats. Okay? And I'm not going to discriminate against, bats. We're just going to take all of them because I can't discriminate them because that's wrong. Because that would make me a bigot. So as far as I'm concerned, nuke the mosquitoes. We'll get rid of vampires. Werewolves will climb the monster hierarchical ladder, and we might get some more American Werewolf in, whatever movies. What happened to werewolves? Werewolves are cool, right? I mean, they're cooler than zombies. I'm so sick of zombies. We had some Frankenstein movies. Frankenstein's not even that scary. Vampires aren't that scary either. But werewolves are scary, yeah. What's next? Is that it? That's it. So I just want you guys to know that that's what I do all day, every day, is I manage expectations, and I have to put a little Japan bubble around my customers so that things like freedom and choices and happiness and individuality and individual responsibility don't invade their bodies, and they go home and realize that societal pressures and the culture of Japan will never let them be as happy as they could be if they lived here. And to the one Japanese person who might be listening to this, you're from Okinawa, that doesn't count. So, what time am I at? 34 minutes. Should I end it or keep going? Well, let's see. Do I have anything else to talk about? I have a couple ideas. Oh, God, that is a good idea. Shit, these are good ideas. If you guys want to make money, you sell things to dumb white chicks because they have a lot of disposable income. They buy a lot of bunch of dumb stuff. Do I talk fast? I think I do. I get out of breath. Maybe it's because I'm trying to hold my breath in so I don't breathe on the microphone. Maybe I'm extremely out of shape. Maybe I just do talk fast. Huh. Well, in order to find out, I have to listen to the podcast, which I won't do, so I guess we'll never find out. But I've had a couple business ideas lately. Throw one past you guys real quick. I call it White Girl Day. White Girl Day is a day dedicated to the activities and interests of white women. Is it racist? Yes. Is being racist an excellent way to make money? You know it. Oh, it's sexist too. Great. Come up with a white guy day too. I don't know. Maybe we could go kill minorities or something. I'm not sure. But this White Girl Day starts out with, well, so you get a White Girl gift basket, and in this White Girl gift basket you get a pair of Lululemon yoga pants, and then a brightly colored pair of running shoes. Or blue. You got blue, orange, pink, and yellow. Yeah. Because you have to pay attention to them when they run. And it's easier to pay attention to them when they're wearing very loud colors. But what they'll do in the morning, strap on that yoga pant, put on those shoes, maybe put on a Nike shirt that says "Just Do It," or I don't know. They sell shirts that inspire women, right? Things like "The stretch marks will disappear one day," or "I only need to earn $30,000 more to get the perfect boobs." Things like that. Is that what inspires women? What inspires women? So they'll run a 5K. Then after that, they'll go to a bakery for breakfast. Or brunch. Let's do brunch. Women like brunch. They'll have mimosas and quiches. Filled with vegetables, of course, because meat is an enemy. I don't have any passion for this. I'm tired, is actually what it is. I had a nap today. It wasn't that good. And what is it now? It's 10 p.m. I know after I'm done recording this, I'm going to be full of energy. I got to clean my effing room. I got so much crap in this piece of crap place. But I might go for a drive. I don't know. But what the point is for this podcast, people, I'll do White Girl Day a little bit later when I can get all my thoughts down. But this is the point I want to make. Being a tour guide for Japanese clients, especially, actually almost exclusively older Japanese clients, is one of the worst things you could ever do, because they are so stupid when it comes to how the world works. They can't possibly understand that there are things that are different in this world than Japan, and they can't understand how those different things could make anybody happy, which is very irritating. And doing this job, I've become more racist, pessimistic, and overall cynical. But you know what? It's okay. It's a test. It's a trial. I'll get over it one day. I do enjoy taking their money. Oh, that's right. Before I end, their tip to me was a bag of half-eaten peanuts that they had not finished. And they offered that to me. And then it was their anniversary, so I took a picture of them and put it in a frame. And on the back, I wrote "Happy Anniversary," and I gave it to them, thinking that I might get a tip. I didn't. But they gave me their address and said, "Come to Japan next year and we'll take you around." And I quickly threw that in the garbage, because the last thing I want to do is spend any more time on this earth with those two. Those two people whom I do not care for that much. There's I can't talk about that because Garrett said I can't. F you, Garrett. You don't tell me what to do. You know what? No, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to. I'm my boss. But expect we're going to get some good episodes recorded this weekend with Gert. We're going to talk about the massacre in Florida and why the left is using this to their great advantage and why that's destroying America. Talk about White Girl Day with White Girl baskets, and talk about some other things that I will think of. But hope you guys have had a good week. Sorry for the late episodes. I've been a little bit busy. It's an excuse. I really haven't. Well, I have. But they're going to get better. Probably not, but I'll keep saying it. Anyways, you guys take care. Have a great day. Goof off at work, go home, eat some T-Bell, and then have at yourself for a little bit, and then fall asleep in it. Love you guys.